By the way, how is your cyber war going? Must be really exciting if Stuxnet doesn't topple Iran.
So why is it that people only seem to let reality sink in when it comes from Wolf Blitzer?
To create greater control over American society and global society. But they
The program, according to a document leaked to the Washington Post and The Guardian, taps into the central servers of
with that one, we're back again, taking a look at the way that they're taking a look at the way we take a look.
Yeah, I know. They're looking pretty darn hard.
I'm feeling a little bit invaded here because the NSA apparently has been watching us since 2007, and a high school dropout came and pointed it out to everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we've got the story for you because Lamestream Media is screwing this one up. We're Radio Free Canada. Let's start with this.
And now, a letter to the NSA.
Dear National Security Administration, how are you? I was going to write you a letter, but then I realized I was typing on Microsoft Windows 7, so you could already read everything I was typing as I typed it. Guess that makes a lot less work for me. Wasn't it really weird when that whistleblower came forward with slides which showed you have been collecting data directly off the servers of every major internet company used by the American people since 2007? Guess it's worth it, since you supposedly were able to stop one whole suspected terrorist. Way to advance national security objectives. I mean, our Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable search and a warrant supported by probable cause really is so overrated. By the way, how is your cyber war going? Must be really exciting. If Stuxnet doesn't topple Iran, at least you can use Palantir to take out WikiLeaks and Anonymous. I know that will really help the American people sleep soundly at night, because what the people don't know about what the government is secretly doing won't hurt them, but the Bradley Mannings of the world sure can. I know you say you are protecting U.S. citizens from terrorism, but I had a dream you were really just spying on everybody from a taxpayer-funded $2 billion spy hub in the Utah desert. And when I went there, instead of files on the bin Ladens of the world, the whole complex was filled to the brim with every American's phone calls and videos and photos and voice chats and email transcripts and texts and file transfers and logins and social networking details and stored data information from Google and Yahoo and Facebook and YouTube and Skype and AOL and Apple. I know it was just a dream, but you still really creep me out. Sincerely, you already know. And that was a letter to the New World Order.
You know, when they get it right, they get it right.
Oh, they do indeed.
It was, man. It's kind of creeping me out because it's kind of creepy when you have to watch everybody in the world.
I know, and that's 6 billion, 7 billion people. That's a lot of files.
We do 3 billion searches every day. There's no way to keep track of human beings, and you don't have enough artificial intelligence to throw at that problem. But they're trying.
They're trying real hard, and of course, it does have a chilling effect to everybody.
So the Europe is totally outraged by it. The Globe and Mail is trying to give them lame excuses about protecting us when you've caught one whole terrorist. Okay.
Maybe.
People around the world got an attitude. Check this out.
The news hit the corporate media world like a drone strike after journalist and constitutional lawyer Glenn Greenwald broke the story of the NSA collecting all of Verizon customers' phone records. Just a day later, he broke the news about the NSA's widespread secret surveillance program that works with corporations, codenamed PRISM. And the question now is whether or not this recent disclosure could turn Greenwald himself into the NSA's next target, given the agency's aggressive pursuit of whistleblowers. However, I can't help but think still of the even bigger picture. Illegal wiretapping and spying has been the MO of the post-9/11 security state. Guys, this has already been going on for the last 12 years. Do you remember what the Patriot Act did? Or FISA? Or what about when Obama already voted to give telecom companies immunity for warrantless spying? I mean, crying out loud. NSA whistleblower Thomas Drake already exposed Operation Stellar Wind's illegal wiretapping program of U.S. citizens in 2010. So why is it that people only seem to let reality sink in when it comes from Wolf Blitzer? It's time to wake up, guys, because while the government claims they're only tracking suspected terrorists, they're tracking everyone. So welcome to the surveillance state where every single one of us is now public enemy number one.
Yes, welcome to George Orwell's 1984.
Not meant to be an instruction manual.
Yeah, you can't explain that to Harper and his conservatives. But then again, fearful people sit there and worry about what everybody's doing, and they don't look at the statistical fact that, there's very few percentage of us messed up enough to mess with everyone.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, power does tend to corrupt. Actually, power tends to attract the corruptible.
Yes. So, you get paranoid people and easily corruptible people, easily led down trails of, oh, I'm so scared of everything.
I think it's more about control.
Yeah, I know. Childish control. We are in control in society, and we do have some very serious specials coming up. Freeloaders is one. Warriors and Thieves, 10 years after the nightmare began in Iraq. We've got those specials coming up in September right here at RFC. But let's really explain it, right?
For those who haven't been paying attention?
Yeah, so let's just sum it up and tell you Eric Snowden's bit.
President Obama has acknowledged the existence of a pair of highly classified surveillance programs to combat terrorism. The National Security Agency and FBI have been amassing a vast trove of communications data that was, until just recently, undisclosed to the public. One part is the phone call records of millions of Americans. A second is codenamed PRISM and involves the collection of communications via some of the largest tech companies in the U.S. How does PRISM work? The point of the $20 million program is to find the proverbial needle in the haystack using advanced data mapping technologies. As the former chief counsel to the House Intelligence Committee described it to the Wall Street Journal, the PRISM database is the haystack. The program, according to a document leaked to the Washington Post and The Guardian, taps into the central servers of Apple, YouTube, Skype, Facebook, Google, AOL, Paltalk, Yahoo, and Microsoft. All these companies deny granting the government direct backdoor access to their servers. The Obama administration says the program only targets foreigners. People outside the U.S. are some of the heaviest users of these company services. How does the government get access to this data? Agency officials must ask the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court to issue orders to the companies requiring them to share their data. The court was established in the late 1970s to guard against surveillance abuses. It has 11 U.S. District Court judges selected by the Chief Justice of the United States who serve staggering terms of up to 7 years. A single judge reviews a warrant application. Are these requests on the rise? Yes. In 2008, there were fewer than 25, but applications to the court have exploded in recent years, with over 200 last year. How many requests has the court denied? None. And now that the secret program has been made public, the FBI and Director of National Intelligence have ordered a damage assessment to find out if terror suspects are changing their ways as a result. That's the short answer.
Now, this one shocked me because it's the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Okay, and usually they're not really that.
Well, they are kind of anti-Obama, aren't they? Because they are owned by Fox News by News Corp.
Yeah, it's another one of those, NWO things. But they're actually taking a look, explaining what's going on. Now, if you were not really paying attention, Eric Snowden, working for the NSA, actually a subcontractor.
Yeah, for Booz Allen.
Yeah. And he comes out and he says, hey, look, I've got access to all of these things. And then the government had to say, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He's
just a contractor. He doesn't actually work for us.
And then they vilified him. And we're going to go over that in a second here. But I want to run this, yes? Because we want to hear it and give you the whole story. Use your own judgment because you're intelligent. Heck, you could start your own radio station.
The greatest fear that I have regarding the outcome for America of these disclosures is that nothing will change. People will see in the media all of these disclosures. They'll know the lengths that the government is going to grant themselves powers unilaterally to create greater control over American society and global society. But they won't be willing to take the risks necessarily to stand up and fight to change things, to force their representatives to actually take a stand in their interests. And the months ahead, the years ahead, it's only going to get worse until eventually there will be a time where policies will change, because the only thing that restricts the activities of the surveillance state are policy. Even our agreements with other sovereign governments, we consider that to be a stipulation of policy rather than a stipulation of law. And because of that, a new leader will be elected. They'll flip the switch, say that because of the crisis, because of the dangers that we face in the world, some new and unpredicted threat, we need more authority, we need more power, and there will be nothing the people can do at that point to oppose it, and it'll be turnkey tyranny.
So I think he's right on the money. Where is the right wing standing up against this nonsense?
The pundits are lining up against this guy already.
They say as soon as he came out with the news, they were vilifying him. They were talking about the fact that he dropped out of high school. He was a college dropout, but he's got access?
Yeah, well, he was a systems administrator.
So while they're vilifying them, they're showing us the quality of management skills that they have at the NSA for their subcontractors.
And I encourage everybody to go to The Guardian and watch that whole interview with Glenn Greenwald.
And make sure you get informed about the way the police state is forming and what we can do to fight it and to make sure that we get this back under control again. I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Nisbet.
Thanks for tuning in. Part 2 coming up as we talk about Eric Snowden, the NSA, and how Canada was involved right from the start. This is Radio Free Canada.
A lot of people think poverty is a problem for other people in other neighborhoods. But even if you or no one you know is ever affected by poverty, not doing anything about poverty is costing us all. British Columbia has the highest poverty rate in Canada. Not addressing this comes at a price. And this is what it looks like when we do the math. For starters, it costs us $1.2 billion per year to pay for the healthcare costs related to poverty. We've heard a lot lately about how we need to get tough on crime. But some crime could be prevented by reducing poverty, which is linked to crimes of desperation, low literacy rates, and living in unsafe situations. The poverty-related costs of crime in BC add up to $745 million per year. Then, there's the income that the poor might have earned from working, if they had access to better supports and training. Or the income that the working poor could have earned, if their jobs paid better wages. This is also a loss to our economy, to the collective wealth of our society. And it adds up to as much as $7.3 billion per year. Altogether, it works out to between $8 and $9 billion every year. This is a terrible deal. And the worst part of this is that it would cost us between $3 and $4 billion per year to put an effective poverty reduction plan in place. That's less than half of what poverty is costing us now. You don't have to be an economist to see that it costs more to keep people in poverty than it does to fix the problem. It's just simple math. Not for other people in other neighborhoods, but for all of us.
Canada used to have what is called a social safety net. That net used to consist of welfare and UI checks, and it ensured that people would not have to steal to live. But now there are no effective social safety nets left, except for the richest of the rich. How does it work? Well, it's pretty simple. Major corporations are awarded subsidies, tax breaks, and eased regulations, and you are not. Not convinced? Just remember that you pay 65% of your wages in taxes, and Canadian banks, corporations, pay no taxes at all. But things are changing. From Egypt to Toronto, from Victoria to Halifax, people are winning battles by standing up for what is right. People like me and you. On January 28th, we are asking you to go to your city hall at 12 noon all across the country. Spread this video around and stand up against corporate welfare and get our safe streets back in an effective way.